money. It's time, attention. Well. It's like, you know, making sure she feels safe around me, all of this stuff. Also, it's a really good filter because some girls are just out here trying to get a free meal. It's true. Some girls are. Right? Like some guys,
the living crisis.
It's the living crisis.
The girls are going around eating free every day.
That electric bill comes. They're like, I better join Tinder, you know. Yo, guys, welcome back to another episode on my channel. I'm sitting in this spot, which means I have a great conversation lined up for you today. You know, here on this channel, we talk about all things dating between men and women, and, you know, seeing, you know, what we can do to attract the kind of person we want. Some of you ladies have been asking me to get a few more fellows on to give their take on what's going on in the dating world and, you know, how you can attract the kind of guy you want. So without further ado, please welcome Diego to the show. What are you saying, man?
Happy to be alive.
Did I say it right? Diego,
that was perfect. Actually, it was beautiful. I'd go along the lines of saying it was beautifully said.
Mate, you see, ladies, already a charmer.
Nah, I mean,
right?
you treat your guests well. I'm happy to be alive.
Mate, I really appreciate it. Well, thank you for coming out today. Listen, I want to start off with tell us your age or your age range, right? And one thing a girl should know about you before she goes on a date with you.
One thing a girl should know about me before she goes out, she goes on a date with me.
Yeah.
So I'm 21 years young and beautiful. So
Look at them curls.
One of the reasons I was excited to come and get obviously your aspect on things, being a bit of an older generation, only slightly older, you know.
Yeah, bit more seasoned.
There you go. I love the positivity.
There we go.
Old man.
How dare you?
And
Fighting.
one thing a girl should know about me before going on a date with me is that if you're a feminist, the exit is that way. The door is that way. Your emergency exit is that way.
Please follow the lights on the corridor.
Literally. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm a very positive person who holds very high values in my life. So if you don't come under the categories, then don't walk through the door.
I hear that. I respect that. Let's start on the feminist thing. How do you define a feminist in today's world to you?
Just a person who holds much delusion in their eyes.
Delusion? About men or about society or what?
I'd say more about society actually.
Okay.
Because people label arguments like men, women, this, but it's all very general. No, the problem I have with feminists, that feminists seem to be very good talkers and less good actresses as ladies, or actors in terms of doing things. Doers, let's say doers.
Yeah.
But they seem to be very good talkers, and not very good listeners as well. We seem to live in a world where everyone wants to talk and no one wants to listen and understand. And when you have a kind of point of view in your head, you don't want to dissolve anyone else's point of view, and you just want to keep very tunnel visioned.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of feminists are very tunnel visioned.
Well, that's why we're here, man. That's why we're here to have a chat. So, when was the last time would you say you went on a date with a feminist that you just clashed?
God forbid.
That you just clashed.
Not too long ago. Define date, by the way. I was talking to someone about this the other day. Define date for me. Where
you were meeting up with them with the potential for romantic future.
The intention for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because my date might be slightly different to other guys' dates. Yeah. I would say probably a month. Go back a month, and it was just straight. In a hotel room.
Okay.
There was no messing about. It was straight in a hotel room. And it was meant to be like, you know, good romantic vibes.
Yeah.
But it was just beef.
Why? You just like arguing about stuff or what?
Yeah. Not even that, because that's the difference as well between me and said feminist. When I argue with someone, I understand that an argument is someone's brain and words working against someone else's brain and words. My brain can never be your brain. It can never be her brain or anyone else's. So it doesn't have to be like integrated perfectly. But I find speaking with a lot of feminists and a lot of people who have, in my opinion, very deranged views, it seems to be a case of like, I speak, maybe try and understand, and they're just blocking every... You know when you're having a conversation with someone and they already know what they're going to say before you even said something?
Sure, they're listening to respond, not listening to listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and we're generalizing, right?
I have to generalize. Generalization.
Generally, feminists come across as very as what you said, ready to speak,
Mm.
not depending on whatever's being said to them. They're just ready to say what they want to say, and walk out of the discussion.
I hear that, man. I hear that. What's something you want to bring to the conversation? What's something anything you want to ask? Or
I was. How old are you again?
I'm 29.
So I was really excited to talk about the difference, because obviously you studied around the word dating. You probably claim to be quite educated.
Yeah, I didn't officially study everything. I'll probably say everything is not just from my own experience, what I observe in the world. And I'm curious. I'm intellectually curious. So I've read quite a few books on like clinical psychologists and, different people from different sides of the spectrum. And then I formulate what I'm like, okay, these are patterns we see in the world. And it's about truth, really. I'm about truth, essentially.
And what you said about patterns is a lot of the arguments we have to bring, like when patterns of things happen, you have to at some points follow the pattern.
Yeah.
And sometimes patterns fall off and go in different directions, but if you generally follow the pattern, you generally go in the right way. So I wanted to talk about the difference in dating now compared to dating when you were, say, 21, which takes you back 8 years.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything from 8 years ago?
How dare you? So I remember lines for a living. My memory is crisp.
You look good, man. You're in good shape for a granddad.
It. Oh, I appreciate that. What I say is different. I'll probably say not that much has changed in a sense, but I would say that I feel there's more of a divide between maybe girls who are like very, very sexual and girls who are like very much retreating back from that in the sense of like, oh, I'm not just gonna sleep with you like straight away. Like I feel like me and Imogen were talking about, there's some girls who are like very sexually aggressive. They're very on it, and that's fun, right? But then you can meet another girl who could be the same age, same generation, whatever, but she's like the complete opposite. Whereas I felt like back, maybe from 7-8 years ago, I feel like there was more girls were more leaning towards being the sexual side. But I think a lot of women are realizing now how being very sexual very quickly with a guy, if she wants a commitment, that's like one of the worst ways to go about it. So I think girls are starting to recognize that this whole narrative of, just act and treat sex like a man does and just go out there and be doing things like a man does. It's like, yeah, you have the freedom to do that, but it may not get the results you want if long-term relationship is what you're looking for. So I'd say like girls are getting more now. They're kind of like, oh, I'm realizing this isn't really working for me. But I don't know how much of that is because I've dated girls, half the women I've dated have been older than me. A few have been younger than me. So I don't know if that's girls getting to like their late 20s, early 30s, switching things up. Because I think the last time I dated a girl who was maybe in her early 20s, like the girl I'm seeing now, she's 25 to be fair. Yeah, I know. Actually, to be fair, yeah, even someone in my company in the show I'm doing right now, she's like 21, 22, and she's like, not like she's waiting till marriage for sex, but she's very more sexually conservative compared to a lot of girls my age were. Does that make sense?
I feel like it goes in like periods, right? Like
yeah,
this 3-4 years of girls are like this, and then this 3-4 girls are in the complete opposite because they learn from their mistakes, and everyone's very extreme in this world. In this, I'd say the biggest difference between 8-9 years ago, where I wasn't a man, so I didn't really understand the world, but being slightly educated about how the world was run, seems to be everything now is very extreme.
Yes.
If you're on something, you have to be on that till you die.
Yeah.
And this is what the thing is with feminists. What girls don't realize is that they can be like a slight feminist if you like.
Yeah.
They can believe in equality.
Yeah, of course.
Not being a feminist doesn't mean you believe that you have complete equal rights.
Yes.
I mean, the way I look at it is very different, and I'm quite opinionated on it. But as I say, you can think things without being a feminist, right?
Yeah,
you can think things without slandering men.
There's nuance,
right?
100%.
So yeah, I don't think anyone maybe understands that. I think people like to follow crowds a lot these days, and there's a lot of sheep that think they're shepherd but are actually sheep. In terms of what you said, one of the biggest ones I hate nowadays is when a girl already like has preempt stuff in her head before the date. Like my most hated line is a girl being like, "Oh, I won't sleep with you until the 6th date or whatever. Like you're sitting on the date counting how many times.
Yes.
Is there no emotion involved now? Is there
Yeah.
no feelings? Is everything like everything's a game?
Yes.
Everything is a game. I even found myself like, I play a game dating now. I'll be completely real. My first date every time now is coffees, and this is why I was asking you, what's your definition of dating? Because I don't know if taking a girl for a half an hour coffee is a date.
Okay, I would say my first date with girls are definitely coffee.
Why?
Because, well, one, you may not be worth the investment I'm willing to give. So like taking you out to like a dinner, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, and that's not saying that she's a bad person, but I may not actually want to invest in you in that way. And I'm not going to set that out from the get-go because I don't know if she's worth that investment.
And everyone's going to be thinking about you're talking only about money, but you're not only talking about money.
Oh, 100. No, it's not just money. It's time, attention.
Well.
It's like, making sure she feels safe around me, all of this stuff. Also, it's a really good filter because some girls are just out here trying to get a free meal. It's true. Some girls are. Right, like some guys.
Living crisis.
It's the living crisis.
The girls are going around eating free every day.
That electric bill comes. They're like, I better join Tinder, get some free meals.
Straight on. It's time for a Sainsbury's drop. I can't be bothered, so I'm gonna message my mum. Dinner tonight.
Honestly, but it's true. So it's 100%. Kind of like if a girl's on that, right? That's cool, but that's not gonna work with me. And
if it doesn't work with you, it doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
Because you're 50% of the interaction.
Yeah.
And as the man, in my opinion, as the man, if something doesn't work with you, then men are very weak in this day and age. We tend to think like, if something doesn't work with us, I need to change or alter and accompany for the woman's needs or wants. Or I remember because last week I had a girl in my DMs and we were talking, and not a girl in my DMs. Let me put some respect on her name. I had a woman that I was talking to. And she said to me, I was like, oh, meet me for a coffee in here, whatever, next week. Or I gave her a date because I like to be quite exact with girls. Otherwise, it can get a bit complicated. And she was like, I'm more of a wine girl myself. And I was like, listen, I didn't ask what you like to fucking drink. Just get there and be on time. Like.
Did she like that?
I'm more of a wine girl. Yeah. Well, I mean, she came to the coffee date.
Yeah.
It was at the coffee date that I said, do you remember when you were trying to be like cheeky and get me to take you for a drink or dinner or whatever? But you're here now, so I'm glad you know the pattern. That's what I said to her. I'm glad you know what's going on here. Yeah. I'm glad you know who's in control. I'm glad you know who's at the steering wheel. But yeah, coffees for me work massively. I do the 20 minute, half an hour treatment.
What's that?
Bring them in, drink your coffee, fuck them
off. I see. Yeah.
No, I like the first date. I think it's very easy for a first date to be like, I don't know. I think guys struggle a bit. What I like to do in a first date is, as I said, take this 20-30 minutes. As you said, it's low investment for me. I'm super busy anyway. I'll probably have a meeting, or if not, I'll tell her I have a meeting half an hour later. So she'll be on her way, and we'll leave the date 9 times out of 10 with me, because I'm a person that has a lot of high and positive energy anyway. So usually anyone who's kind of around me can share that energy with me. 9 times out of 10, it will be left at a super, super high energy level and point of the interaction. She'll for sure be like going away wanting more, and then the cards will be in my hands. I can then decide what kind of investment she is for me. Is it a thing where I would just like a sexual relationship with her?
Of course.
And I'm saying, listen, I've got a hotel in London next week, come and join me, or whatever the kind of pattern is. Or is it a thing where I would like to take her for dinner, or I'd like to take her for a day out doing something?
Yeah. So kind of on that, right? Because as you can see, man's an attractive young man, right? He's got it going on. He's got the smile. He's got his social media on point. What is, because obviously you get a lot of attention from girls, and, you have options and stuff. What differentiate, how do you decide between a girl that maybe you just want to keep a casual thing with, and then a girl you want to actually spend some time with her, take her on dates, and you want to make that investment? What is the deciding factor for you, would you say? Values. Okay. And
values covers everything, but to dissect it a bit better, values and who she is as a person. Yeah, and you can 100% get that in 20-30 minutes. 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
You can see someone's values. You can see the kind of energy they supply. I'm at a point in my life, and who knows when it may change, but I'm at a point in my life where anyone with a certain level, or anyone below a certain level of positive energy or self-value and self-respect
Yes.
and kind of ethics is just not entering my life at all.
Yeah.
I'm at a level where I can see certain girls that have a positive, this kind of positive energy that may not have the values that I'd consider her to for a longer term situation. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And if she kind of shows them early good signs of having the values that I could see, because you need to have your guidelines, right?
Yeah.
Things like a funnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's call it a funnel.
Okay.
Funnel from coffee to dinner to hotel to girlfriend.
So
some of them fall out the funnel.
You just some fall
You
out.
still have to like just catch them and give them a little something on the way down.
This guy's a real one, ladies. You better watch out for this guy. You know, real talk. So what would you say? So let's be specific then. You say about values, which I completely agree. So what would you say? And you said like, you know, signs that she has the kind of values that you're looking for long term. Let's say if we're going to say three or four values that you do look for in that 20-minute, 30-minute coffee date that you're like, you know what, this is a girl that might be worth considering taking seriously. What would you say those things are for you?
Self-respect and actually respect in general. Respect in general, respect for me and respect for her. I don't feel like you can truly respect another person if you don't respect yourself.
I agree.
I feel like everything starts with them. So respect in general,
Yeah.
loyalty for sure. That's not fucking another man while you're with me. Loyalty is a word that.
So like from the first date, she can't be seeing anyone else.
No. Loyalty is it's an attribute. You know, it's an attribute to a person.
Sure.
It's not. I'm saying it's not like not speaking to other guys or not doing this. There's loyalty covers a lot of things. So loyalty, respect, loyalty, understanding. She needs to be understanding, which comes with the respect, because the understanding and respect are for me. She needs to have an understanding for me as a person.
Sure.
She needs to be willing to understand me so she can respect me in the best way. And then the fourth one, I'd say, how do I put this without being slightly derogatory?
They're gonna come for you, boy.
Well trained.
Well trained. Okay, they're gonna come for you for that one. What do you mean?
Well trained.
What do you mean? Well trained.
I mean, well trained in life. I'm well trained in life.
Okay,
Before you come for me.
Okay.
I am well trained.
You don't mean well trained like she's your dog. Don't even. He doesn't mean that.
Well trained as a soul. A well trained soul. Which men or women can both have.
Okay, let's change the word trained. Shall we say well disciplined, self-disciplined? Is that the same thing? You mean trained? Okay, how are you trained as a man, and what does a woman who is quote unquote trained look like to you?
I'm well trained as a man.
Yep.
Because of the values and the attributes I have and the direction I'm moving in.
Okay.
And a woman needs to be well trained in the sense that she knows the needs of a man. She understands the needs of a man. She understands the needs and for herself as well.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't want to be doing the training. Girls have done the training for me before. Girls have done the training for me, and I've done the training for girls before. Right. It's not a one or the other thing. It's a general thing. And I'm now well trained in the sense that I know what man I need to be for myself, and I know what man I need to be for a woman. Yeah. In general, each specific people have specific needs, but in general, and I need a woman that understands and is well trained enough to know what she needs for herself and know what a man needs from her as well.
I hear that.
Give me another word for well trained. Because I agree, it sounds bad.
I think,
and the immature people that are watching this, and the small-minded people, and the feminists, like they always do, will take something out of context.
Sure. I understand what you're saying. It's about.
I would say experience, but it sounds like I'm just talking about J-bags. You know what I'm saying? Experience. I'm just.
Yeah, it's. I understand what you mean. Like, well, that's why I say it could be self-discipline. Isn't maybe that's too specific. It's what's another word that we could use instead of well trained?
Having an expanded understanding.
Yeah, expanded understanding.
That have enough flowers on it.
yeah, exactly. Maybe it's about operating in life in a way that fulfills her and the relationship.
Yeah, we're doing too much.
That's a lot. It's a lot.
We're doing too much.
But I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're saying. And I agree, because men need to be that way as well. When did you say you started dating? Because you're 21 now. When did you say you started dating? I'm gonna guess like 14. Look at this guy. Come on. Actually, maybe it depends when he hit puberty, innit?
The ones. Nah, I've been with girls with hairless armpits, bro. I can't remember. I've been speaking and seeing to girls since the dawn of day.
Since he came out, since he was walking.
Literally, I was straight out crying like, "Give me some girls! I need girls!"
Okay, so what would you say is, because you even said yourself that you kind of played the game, right? What would you say that, you as maybe a guy that girls would maybe want, that you do now that you didn't, that you've learned from since you started like going on dates with girls and stuff like that?
Stuff that I do now.
Yeah, that you've learned over time. You've been like, oh, this is what works with girls. This is what girls like. This is what girls look for, etc.
Amazing. So one thing that I would say actually about myself, maybe less of what real girls, well-trained girls.
Let's go girls and women. Right, there are girls and
women,
there are women.
I love it.
Yeah?
Women, something women will understand.
Yep.
And appreciate is a high value man.
Sure.
I don't think girls. I think a lot of people have said all girls will respect a high. I don't think girls respect a high value man and want a high value man, because what do they want? What do girls want? Attention.
Yep.
Wishy-washy shit.
Yeah.
Like as I said, time, looking after.
Yeah. Clout.
A high value man doesn't have time for any of that, right? So one thing I've definitely changed and learned is how to be a high value man, which doesn't mean doing this for myself and then still catering for all the girls. It means you cut off all the girls, and
you only deal with the women.
They don't find and you deal with the women, and women. There's no age between this. Quite like yourself, I've dated older girls.
Yeah.
That are definitely girls, and I've dated younger women.
100%.
So age is nothing to do with it. Something I've changed that I think girls like more is being a little bit mysterious, when naturally to me I'm quite an open person.
Yeah.
I also admit everything. I'm not like a guy that hides stuff, So
Yeah.
Or I'm admitting that I do hide stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So this is very hypocritical, but yeah, I try and be. I'm just an open person. I talk about my life. I talk about who I am. I talk about my emotions. I'm very happy to be me. Two things I've changed to be that high value man and to be a bit more maybe masculine is, I'd say, becoming a bit more mysterious. So not being so open.
Yes.
And actually, again, to be hypocritical, maybe opening up less and speaking less about emotions in general.
Really? Because the thing is, a lot of women would say that they want guys to do that more.
Yeah, but a lot of women talk shit,
Do you think women don't want guys to be emotional with them?
I'd give it a 50-50. I'd say 50% of women, as a random number, if a guy was with them and we take the crying one, I think there's a meme about crying that's going a lot. Like if your man cries with you,
yeah,
I think 50% of women be like, listen, I'm glad you can do this around me. I'm glad you feel comfortable enough. And then 50% of women would be like,
why? What's
maybe a bit
on?
off put. Like, listen, I'm the one that needs to cry. You're the one that needs to be there for me.
Yeah.
And that also comes into the whole mental health scenario, which I actually have quite an opposing view on. I think I'm not quite sure that all the emotion that we're being encouraged to do right now in the society, because that's a huge thing about mental health, you're encouraged to express your emotion. I'm not quite sure that it helps, and I've been on both sides of the coin, so I come talking from experience before people come for me.
Yeah.
But the coin where you get the fuck on with it, don't speak it into existence, and deal with it as a man, is more effective.
Shall I tell you what I think it is? I think the remedy for men and women is different. I think the remedy for a woman dealing with her mental issues is, it's like, we know that, and this is a generalization, right? Men and women process their emotions differently. I love how we have to
clarify it to generalize.
We have to, just in case. Just in case.
The world we live in.
It's true. But it's like, if a girl's going through a tough time, right, like emotionally, she'll like have her feelings here and she'll get all her friends. She'll be like, okay, let's all look at this and let's all figure this out. Whereas guys are more, okay, if there's something going on, we retreat from everyone because we want to figure it out. And then once we feel we figured it out, then we're like, okay, then I can articulate what's going on. Do you know what I mean? So I think maybe when it comes to like the whole mental health thing, especially between men and women, I think the remedy for guys is different to women. And I think sometimes, and maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they sometimes try and say guys need to do exactly what women do or how women deal with it, and sometimes a lot of the time that doesn't work for us because we're different. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying?
Men and women are different.
I know, man.
What?
I know. I can't believe I said
Bro,
that.
I was gonna say you
I
have
can't
to be
believe I
careful.
said
It's- Men and women are different.
Be careful you say that to you, boy.
I'm different to a woman who
You are,
has
man.
two
Maybe not the hair,
two
though.
bubbles
the hair
on
might
her
be,
breast and
the hair might be
a
the
hole in
same.
her. Yeah, the hair's the same. Everything else. I can't believe I'm different to a woman. Wow. So I can't get pregnant.
I don't think you can, bro. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry.
Damn,
That can't happen.
you crossed my dreams.
I'm sorry, bro.
I think I'm gonna go online and rant about it and ask for equal rights because I can't get pregnant.
Let me ask you something. Do you think men and women can be friends?
I love these gays. Sexy women cannot have male friends. For all my ugly queens out there, do your thing.
Yeah.
They don't want to fuck you. Go for it.
Nah, that was always some guy. Well, so you think as a general, go on, as a general rule.
Yeah, as a general claim, as a sexy girl, males are just too sexual. I try and be a good friend to females, but when she's crying on my shoulder, and I can see down her bra, I'm not thinking about the emotional support she needs, ladies.
Come on, man. You have to be doing that if you're her friend. You can't be just looking at her like that.
No, girls. I don't have any girlfriends, and I don't think. Depends what depends what girls define as a friend. I say this to every girl that tells me they have a male friend, and I say to her, if your friend, if you offered your friend for sex in some way, natural way, not like hey, do you, but in some way,
of course,
and he accepted. This is very weird terminology.
Yeah.
Would you consider him your friend? Because for me, if a male and a female are friends, true friends comes with, and we need to clear up the definition of friendship because friendship holds weight, you know?
Yes.
For someone to be my friend, they need to have certain things that I know they would do for me, certain things that they bring to the relationship and that they are in themselves.
Yes.
So if I ask a girl, would a friend of yours fuck you on first opportunity? Is that actually your friend? She says no. Then no, sexy girls can't have male friends because let's be real, they're gonna want to.
They're gonna want to do so. I completely agree. I'm not friends with any girl that I would have sex with. Like any female friend of mine.
Because of attraction or because they're your friend though. As in, so to rephrase it,
Go on.
would you say you're not friends with any girls you're attracted to?
Yes. Yeah. So like and when I say friend, because you have acquaintances, people in your circles, right?
I told you, the word friends holds value.
Exactly.
Weight.
So when I say friends, I mean like we'll meet one-on-one. Maybe we'll catch up over coffee, or maybe I'll have dinner around theirs, or they'll have dinner here. Do you know what I mean? So, and I'll probably say I have a handful of female friends that I would say they're my friends. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I wouldn't have sex with them. No. Like, and the thing is, I've said this before. Like, probably my closest female friend, objectively, she's actually very attractive. Like, every time she's on my story, I always have guys messaging me like, "Yo, who's that girl?" Blah 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 blah. But I just don't feel. I'm just not like, I don't look at her and go, "Oh, I wanna." Do you know what I mean? And that's why we can be friends.
Maybe that's because you're a deeper and more well-rounded person, and some men like me are just very shallow.
I mean, like, but you have different, you know, like there's definitely cases where, you know.
No, but if you've trained your brain to think that way, that just like shows that you're a strong person.
Yeah, I like to think so in that sense, but also there are girls who have maybe come into my life where they were very attractive and they came to my life because they wanted to be friends because maybe they were in a relationship or they just weren't feeling whatever. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, cool, we could be friends. Delete.
Yeah, it's not
Straight
happening.
away.
It's not happening.
Just because it's just like, because realistically, if you're attracted to a person and you're friends with them, which means you like who they are, you're gonna want more. That's natural. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, and attraction is the ingredient that brings friendship to romantic. So if that's there as a guy and you can't act on it, that's just like, it's just, why would you do that to yourself? Do you know what I mean?
So what should happen? What should happen from the scenario where a girl has a male friend?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I get into a relationship with a girl, and I tell her, listen, this is your like you have a male friend, like, and she understands that. Oh, he probably would. Like, whose fault is it?
So what do you mean whose fault?
Because this is something where the girl loses out, right, from of a friend.
Oh, if you're like,
But
I don't want to be a friend.
it's actually the man's fault, unless she's maybe just a bit blind to it. Like I said to you, a lot of girls just like to deny and
Yeah.
like I had an argument with a girl about it, and I was like, do you actually think these guys wouldn't, like, if they had the chance? She was like, no, they would never do that.
Yeah.
It's like, you have no idea.
I think
I wish you could have my brain for 1 second.
If they
Walk
knew.
around the street and
If they
just
knew.
look at girls and see what the first thing that comes into your head is.
It's true.
Because it's natural, right? We don't need to hide it.
It's
Like,
true.
it's something when guys walk around and we see girls, we generally, as a male population, we objectify quite quickly.
Yes.
If you even hear
Guys do.
our dialect, like, it can be disgusting. Like, bro, I remember a time when me and my friends would go around and we'd see a girl and it'd be like, would you fuck it?
Yeah.
Like, a whole it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Girls would, like, if they saw a hot guy, they'd do like, he's cute. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? We'd look at a girl and be like, would you smash?
Yeah.
That's our question, right? It's like, would you smash?
No, it's true.
And girls are looking like he's cute. So
Yeah.
who's at fault for?
So okay, so if you're in a situation where you got into a relationship with a girl and she had a male guy friend who you know would go there with her, if he could, first thing I would ask is, okay, has anything happened before? If nothing's happened before, and she's been single and it's not happened, you don't need to worry about it. Because if she was single and nothing happened, you don't need to be worried about it if she's in a relationship and nothing happened. Also, and depending on how much of the friendship is him waiting for something more, once she gets into a relationship, he'll start, in his eyes, she becomes even more unavailable. Because if he's like, if I can't even get her when she's single, there's no way I'm getting her when she's in a relationship with a man that she actually desires. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think in that sense, you don't have, like, you wouldn't have to worry about that situation. I think boundaries are important, for sure. Boundaries are important. So, like, you're not staying in the same bed with another guy. Like, come on. You're not going to be doing that. Now, I think if you guys were already together and then a new guy comes into the picture, she's like, oh, he's my friend.
That's super weird, yeah.
I think the boundaries would have to be stricter if he's in the, like, if there could be an element of attraction between the two.
For someone to be your friend, you have to give them a certain level of energy.
Yes.
For you to do that when you're single is completely acceptable.
Yes.
As I said, I only date good-looking girls, so I don't believe in this girls with guys friends. Actually, something like you do as an actor, you're around girls a lot, and there would be natural energy that's given and natural friendships that are produced.
Yes.
But so it would also depend what your day-to-day life look like. But natural friendships like might not be produced unless you're putting energy in, and then you'd ask the question, why are you putting energy into
100%.
another guy? I mean, my job is quite good. I get to see all kind of types of girlfriends because I'm on the street asking girls to be in videos and etc.
Yeah.
And I find out at different points who has a girlfriend. My girlfriend, who has a boyfriend. There are the really, really well-trained ones who, when I go to stop them, they don't even take out their earphones.
Yep.
There are the trained ones who take out their earphones, listen to me, tell me to have a nice day and walk on with their day.
Yeah.
Who we can understand.
Yes.
There are the mildly trained ones who join in the video, who get in the video, accept an interaction with a good-looking man who's from the second one flirting, because I'm a very flirty person.
Yeah.
And kind of join in the interaction, and then halfway through the interaction be like, listen, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then there are the loose cannons that just openly talk shit about their boyfriends and tell me how beautiful I am on camera while having a boyfriend.
I have a theory about that. I think there's an element that can come into who she is as a person, but I also think there's an element of how much does she feel that her boyfriend is the best that she can do. Because I think if she feels that she's one with her man, she's like, I love, admire, respect, and desire this man. I like to think for most women, they just wouldn't even entertain a guy like you coming up to them. But I think if she's with a guy that's like, yeah, I like him, and he's like mine for now, she may be open to a better option, which is why she's willing to entertain it more. So do you think that's a reflection on the girl, or do you think that's a reflection of maybe she's not with the guy that she like her top choice, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to how well trained and understanding of life and understanding of a man's needs a girl is. Because if any girl is doing this and thinking my man's going to be fine with it, and this has nothing to do, what girls like to do in this day and age, they like to play the insecurity card. Like, right, if you can't have me talking to another guy, you must be insecure.
Yeah.
Like you said, yeah, you'd say if she was with a friend, if she got to know a friend while she was with you, another male friend. Yeah. Or what did you say? You'd say you'd ask her a question. You'd say, like, has anything happened before?
Is there history?
Whatever. What is a girl in this day and age reaction straight away is why? Why are you insecure? Why you don't. It's nothing to do. It's levels of respect you expect from a person.
It's about respect
and value. So it all comes down to this. No one's insecure. I mean, we all are in our own way, I guess, insecure in some ways. But it's not about being insecure. It's about levels and your self-value. Because I always say your self-value is going to reflect who you allow in your life. No, I think it's just as I say, loose cannons. Like,
you think it's on the girl?
You get messages. Yeah, it's completely on the girl. You have to take responsibility for yourself. The only one I can, as I say, for me, it's a case of keep your earphones in. Why is this man looking at me, talking to me? Fuck off. Yeah. And walk on with your day. The only one I can comprehend is when a girl stops to take her earphones out, because in my nature as a human, it would be to stop and talk to someone if they wanted to talk to me, because they could be asking for directions.
Very true.
As an extroverted person, it would be my reaction to stop and talk to someone. Yeah. Whereas in London, you get very different. It's everyone's reaction just to completely ignore you and storm on with their day. Yeah. So that's the one I could comprehend. And as soon as it was like, would you be down to help us out with a video doing social media? It would be, oh no, no thanks. I don't want to talk to you. Yeah. Like,
so if it was your girlfriend, let's say, like, are you in a relationship?
Me, God forbid.
Watch out for this man, ladies. Watch out for this man. So if, let's say you had a girlfriend in a relationship and stuff, and let's say a guy like you, right, was doing his videos, doing his thing, right, approached her on the street to chat about, make a video for TikTok or whatever for the socials, how would you like her to respond in your eyes? What is the best way she would respond?
To be my girlfriend?
Yeah, if she was your girlfriend.
She'd be well trained enough to know that the earphones stay in.
Let's say respectful. We're going to change it to word trained to respectful.
If she was respectful enough.
Yep.
No, she would be respectful enough.
Yep.
To know. No. She would be intelligent enough. She would know to keep her earphones in.
But what if he's just asking for directions?
I told you, if she takes her earphones out, I can comprehend it.
Right.
Like I have no problem at all. But you know, yeah. Let me be a reasonable person. Let me admit my mistakes. Admit my mistake.
Accountability. We like that.
And open my brain up a tiny bit more to let your valid opinion enter. Yeah. So if she took her iPhone out and then rejected the interaction at a certain point, I'd as soon as she accepts the interaction with another male, especially a male that she didn't know and whatever, it's ciao ciao.
Yeah, I hear that.
Ciao ciao. Bro, I have girls messaging me after videos. It's my favorite message to get. And it was one of my least favorite at the start because I felt really bad. And then I learned a bit about it and I was like, I'm not feeling bad for this anymore. When girls text me and like, listen, can you take the video down? I don't want my boyfriend to see it. I'm like, if you didn't want your boyfriend to see it, you shouldn't have fucking said it.
Done it.
And a lot of guys actually, and general, this is the only tiny form of hate I ever got. Is when I'm flirting with a girl that has a boyfriend, and guys are like, why'd you do it? Why do you want to break up relationships? Why do you want to be a problem? I look at it like I'm doing the work for the people. If I'm doing a video with your girl and she's
you're like testing them to see,
and you accept that, I think that's your problem. I think I'm doing the work for the men out there. You understand? I'm cleaning the trash off the streets.
Okay.
I'm like a bin man these days.
So you see it as like,
I'm gonna start going around with a high-vis jacket.
You're seeing it as like, it's almost seeing like, look, I'm gonna show you how respectful or quote unquote loyal your girl really is in that sense. You're saying
not intentionally. I'm just trying to get content. I'm working. I'm out here for myself. I'm not thinking about Jerry.
Yeah.
That's girl is here. most of the girls don't tell me they have a boyfriend before the video, but if they do, I'm not changing the way I act. I'm not changing who I am and the way I talk to people for girls with boyfriends. I would say I'd like to be a bit more respectful if a girl had a boyfriend.
Of course.
But at the same time, like, if a girl wasn't accepting at all of me as a person or me as a human, no way I'm pushing to get an interaction or pushing to get anything out of it. I understand what no means. I understand what the word fuck off means. I understand the definition of rejection,
of course,
which is very normal, you know, especially being in the industry I work in, and probably you work in as an actor as well. You understand the levels of rejection, right?
Yeah.
So you need to know when to move with your day. But I don't see the harm I'm doing in it. I see how it could look like harm. What do you think?
I don't think you're doing any harm, because ultimately it takes two to have a conversation. So if she's having a conversation, it's because she is accepting to have one, and because maybe she wants one. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, like, when you recognize that you're like, oh, someone doesn't really want to engage and they want to chat or whatever, and you're like, okay, cool, thank you for your time, have a good day, cool. Like, you're doing it very respectfully. If she chooses to engage, then she chooses to, you know, and that's not like her talking to another attractive guy is a symptom of whatever's not right in the relationship if she's entertaining it, right? The symptom isn't the problem. There's something else.
Yeah, everything comes from somewhere.
Does that make sense? Yeah, I hear that, man. Hear that. Is there something else you'd like to bring to conversation you'd like to ask?
No, I was going to put you in the hot shoes.
Yeah, go on. Put me in the hot shoes. Go for it.
So if that's your girl that's walking along the street and I ask her to do an interview, and she comes in the video, and she is mid-receptive of me. She's giggling at my jokes. She's not giving me a number. She's not giving me the kiss on the cheek that I asked for. She's not being like but she's receptive of it. She's giggling. She's enjoying the interaction on camera. But she doesn't do anything to cross the line. She doesn't say. I ask her what she rates me out of 10. She says, 8. You're an attractive young man, but you know, I've got a boyfriend, and I'm asking her, like, what do you like about me? Like, what's your favorite feature? Yeah, you have nice hair. Yeah. You know, she's nibbling, but she's not biting.
Okay. I like she's nibbling, but she's not biting. Well, I'd have to see the interaction. If I see that she's openly flirting with you and she knows it's being recorded, I'd have a conversation with her.
But then again, is the fact that she knows it's being recorded any different? It's different in the terms of intelligence levels, but not in terms of the morality levels. Yeah,
so here's the thing. I think I'm not going to sit here and be like, people, especially women, especially attractive women, don't like attention. If I'm with her, she's going to be very attractive to some degree. Like, if I find her attractive, other guys are going to find her attractive. So her getting attention from other men isn't going to stop. Now, sometimes, because we like attention, people like attention, right? It's nice to, right? Especially as an actor, narcissist.
Any confident man is a narcissist these days, right?
Well, apparently.
Narcissist and confident man
is the same thing. It's the same thing.
I think they've changed it actually in the Oxford Dictionary.
Confidence means narcissist.
Confident / narcissistic.
So like, people like attention. If she's going to be getting attention from other guys, which is going to happen, and she enjoys accepting that attention, I wouldn't be too calm down on it. I think the reason the recorded adds an element to me is because recorded means it's going to be going out publicly, and that's a level of disrespect to our relationship.
Because a woman needs to understand that your image,
right? Because how she's seen, because if we're together, how she's seen with other men, in particular, is going to reflect on our relationship, which reflects on me, right? So, obviously, in any ideal world, like I said, like you're not gonna be entertaining any attention. But if she was like you said, like, oh, okay, she's engaging, but she's like, oh, I have a boyfriend and stuff, and she's just answering questions, but she's not, because, if you're a guy and you've got experience, you can tell when a girl is, to some degree, I like to think, where if there would be an opportunity with her if you asked her out. If I saw the interaction, I saw there was an opportunity for it, that'd be a huge red flag, and I would be like, I would have to talk to her about the video. And if she took accountability for the video and what she was doing, then I think it'd be okay. If she was like, nah, I wasn't doing this, blah, 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 I'd be like, nah, that's probably a wrap.
I like that actually.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Maybe that's something that's actually interesting, because I think that's something I can work on a bit.
Yeah.
That's something as a man I know I could work on, maybe opening my mind up to letting her take accountability for it. As a human that has learned a lot in a very short space of time.
Yes.
And have a lot more to learn. Maybe not. But this is what I mean to you by the thing I'm saying about being well trained as a human, as a person, man and female.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't really want to be dealing with the shit. I kind of hope someone's already just dealt with that for you.
Yeah.
I kind of hope another man's already explained to you the rules of the world.
Yeah.
And you understand it. But then emotions come into it, and depending on how much you love her and appreciate her, then you might turn around and say, listen, yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah, of course. Like I had a situation with an ex-girlfriend of mine where a situation happened where we were both in an environment where she was having a conversation with a guy that she had history with, and I didn't know that they had history. And when I found out, I was like, do you know how disrespectful that is? That we're in an environment, you're engaging with this guy, we're in our group of friends, whatever, and I have no idea that you guys have got history, and you're talking to him in front of me. And I was like, because there'd been environments where she'd come with me places, and if there was a girl there that I had history with, I let her know up front, just so you know, so-and-so and so-and-so, whatever, there's some history there, I just wanted to let you know. She's like, okay, cool, thanks for letting me know. But I'm like, you didn't tell me that. And we had a big issue with it. And then after we had...
Because she didn't want to take accountability.
Well, I had an issue that she had done that, but then through the discussion or disagreement, she apologized. She said, nah, you're absolutely right. And like, I was hesitant, like in the moment, I was hesitant to say anything because we were with other people, but she was like, you're absolutely right. And it was, I'm not going to say an environment because people who know me know who I'm talking about, but it was a particular environment that I was just like, look, maybe I'm not okay with you in this environment anymore. So now you have to choose between that and me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
when it comes down to ultimatums, there's always.
I know, but I think I was saying it in the argument to make a point that how accepting I was of her being in this environment that I know a lot of other guys wouldn't be okay with. So I was like, look, I'm being very understanding, but we need to have a level of boundaries and respectability here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I think what she seems to have done in the situation can be perspected away by you and away by her.
Yeah.
By her, it's like I'm talking to someone I know. If I tell him about this guy, it might just be like, oh, I can't believe she's been with another guy before.
No, I wouldn't do that because I'm not.
But she didn't know you wouldn't, so she might have thought you would have reacted badly. But then,
yeah,
it's all about understanding as people. So as you say, if she deals with it like that, it's actually, I mean, I don't know, how did you deal with it after? That surely made her maybe a bit more attractive after the way she dealt with it, no? Oh no,
no,
that was it.
No, surely I made her what?
Like the way she dealt with the situation.
Yeah.
For me, if she did that, I would be out. I wouldn't let her talk.
Okay.
But if I let her talk, or if you let her talk, as maybe more of an understanding and mature man than myself, by letting her talk and take accountability for it, did that of some way make her more attractive after, and be like, you do have a brain, something is there.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gave me more confidence for our relationship because, you know, and that's what I said. That's why we had a conversation about it, and I was just like, look, I don't appreciate this, I don't respect this, and I'm like, in this situation, this is how I've handled it for respect for you in our relationship, and I expect the same in return. And because she understood where I was coming from, and I understood, like you said, why maybe she didn't in the moment or whatever, but because she was like, okay, I understand that, and she took up accountability for it, I was like, okay, cool, because this is someone it gave me more of an element of trust in her, because if she didn't do that, then I would have been like, it probably would have ended a lot sooner. Does that make sense?
Why did it end?
Why did it end? The main reason it ended is because I'm a very busy guy.
She couldn't hack it. She couldn't hack the high value man.
Well, I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to call myself that. But
you have to call yourself it. No one else will.
Not
for me, because I'm just a gas man. I'm just a gas man. I got you, bro.
It. Listen, I like to let the results speak for themselves, but it's very much the reason that ended, if I'm being honest, was because coming, everyone's gonna know who I'm talking about. During COVID, I had all the time for her. Coming out of COVID, things picked up. Like there was a point where I was rehearsing during the day, like 9 till 3, driving 2 hours to set, shooting from 5 p.m. till 3 a.m., driving 2 hours home, sleeping 5 hours, do the same thing again. I did that for 4 weeks, no days off. And there was a very difficult transition from me having all the time to give her to then having like barely a fifth of that. And I just couldn't give to the threshold that she needed for that she was happy with. So ultimately that's why I ended, because I was just busy. So it's like, and it has happened, I'm gonna be honest, like I have dated a few girls where I'm like, look, this is my schedule, whatever, this is my life. You know, sometimes I have more, a few times, sometimes
This
I
is
don't.
when I can see you.
Literally.
The blue line is when I can see you. The green line is work. The orange line is gym.
And the orange line's important, boy. But yeah, and it's happened where, you know, I think they feel that, oh, I'm not making time. And it's not that. I would always make time, especially if I'm taking them seriously in that sense. But because I'm not looking to settle and have a family straight away, like the priority is the mission. And especially when things are gaining momentum, as you know, in the past year, like it takes up a lot, it starts to take up more of your time. And that's something that I've actually made one of my goals this year, to try and have a little bit more of a balance. But then I don't know, like I love what I do, so I love dedicating time to it.
Don't let other people tell you need a balance. You can have a balance when you can make up for the balance when you're dead.
Yeah.
When you're dead, your sleep balance will start coming back and overtaking your living balance. You know, you don't need a fucking balance.
Let me ask you something. I had something else I wanted to ask you. What's one thing? Oh, so there was this trend of like, you know, girls filming guys in gyms on TikTok about guys staring at them, right? This whole thing about girls being stared at the gym, and it's a very real thing. What would you say to having segregated gyms? So women have their own gym and men have their own gym. And the reason I ask that is because girls are like, you know, going to the gym, they don't like it when guys are gawking at them when they're working out. Absolutely fair enough. Guys are like, and we know as men, you see them fine things, she's wearing tight clothes. It's like, it takes work not to at least glance, right? Whereas if you separate them, guys are there focused, they're working out, girls don't get gawked at, it's done. So what would you say to segregated gyms?
Wasn't so bad in the end, by the way.
Thank you. I'm terrible at making coffee. Diego, let me know.
You've brought up probably the only point where I'm a feminist. The only.
We did it, guys. We got him there.
The only time in my life I feel sorry for, the only area and time of my life.
Yep.
I feel like girls need more.
Yep.
Is the gym. The first thing I say, and the first rule, and I've done a video on this before, is that I don't believe that girls should be approached or moved to in the gym.
I agree.
And to clear up on that, if she comes and talks to you and you want to accept the interaction, is different. If she does, and a girl can distract you from finishing your gym session, you're a low value and you're a weak man. Don't let her distract you from your gym session. Fact. You can't rest for 5 minutes and then jump back on bench press with a full chest. Man said you got reload time, bro. That's basically your next gym session after a 5-minute rest. So that's first and foremost. Yeah. There's two reasons we see less girls in the gym, and it's a bit controversial because the first reason is a really anti-feminist mindset, which is men are harder working than women in general. Men have to work harder to reach certain standards because we can't just be good looking in life to succeed. And then the flip side of that is there are less girls in the gym also because maybe they don't feel so comfortable with reason. With reason. 100%. I have to be a fair man at times. I can't just bullshit come my way completely through life. I've done it most of the way through life, but not all the way.
Now you're a real one, man.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's an idea that shouldn't have to be there because men should know levels of respect.
Yes.
I also see girls looking at me in the gym, and I think people should just wear normal fucking clothes to the gym and stop spending so much time looking in the mirror at their muscles and their veins. But they've brought leggings out. You know these leggings that like they make the line.
Yes,
and they've got,
it like tucks in the bum crack.
and the
everything.
same girls that are wearing
like,
them want to complain. So there's levels as well. Girls, listen, if you don't want to get stared at, there's also a way of not wearing revealing clothing. Understanding leggings are like appropriate gym wear. Men as well, you know, you see them wearing vests where these things are as tight as they can so the nipples are popping out. Like you can also just wear a t-shirt to the gym, you know. I mean, I've expanded a lot on that point. My point would be it shouldn't be a case where we're even talking about this. Girls, I sympathize with you very slightly that you have to deal with one tiny worst thing that we do in life.
You're welcome, ladies. We got him there. I got him there.
Yeah, you didn't even have to push hard. I just
no. But you're absolutely right, though. You're absolutely right at being real. And
what's the other solution other than segregated gyms, man?
It's
segregation.
It's just
wow,
segregation.
It's been a long time.
It's mad how the pendulum works. And the only reason I said that or I brought that up was because it started happening where there are certain gyms that either only women can go to or it's only women at certain times that can go to the gym. And maybe for these reasons, etc. But it is... So, okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate, right? Because I completely agree with everything you just said. If a girl went to the gym and she was just wearing baggy clothes, though, do you think she would get gawked at? Compared to if she's wearing those tight leggings and everything like that?
But are baggy clothes... Depends. For me, are baggy clothes suitable for maximum performance?
That's a very good point.
Maybe girls aren't looking at it that way.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe girls aren't. But I
don't disagree with that. I'm
looking
just
at
playing
maximum
devil's
performance.
advocate.
One thing I don't wear now is like... This is cotton, right?
Yeah.
It's cotton? Yeah. I don't wear cotton because I think it just restricts me and gives me a little bit less flexibility. Long t-shirts, jumpers, etc. So I would say if a girl can wear something less revealing that allows her to train at maximum performance,
yes,
then you shouldn't be attention seeking in the gym, which girls do. But at the same time, just like men don't dress up and put loads of thought into what they're going to wear at the gym because they don't, I don't think women should have to deal with that as well.
I agree.
But then again, as I say, we're in a world where what people don't realize is that men have to deal with a lot of shit that women don't have to. For example, even waking up and going to the gym in the first place, because if you're fat, you're not going to get any pussy. But a fat girl can still get...
Unless he's rich.
There you go. Unless he's got something else.
He's got something else.
Point is, a woman doesn't really have to have anything.
Well, I think I think it depends on the kind of man that she wants.
Yeah.
Like it's very easy to get attention, but a lot of women get attention from men that they don't want. Do you know what I mean?
All right. Let me just stop violating women. They should yeah. They should have access to an environment where men shouldn't be staring and doing. I don't feel like it's harmful to look. It's a tricky one. Yeah, it's tricky. There's no like perfect answer that fits all. It's just the whole segregation thing. I think we're just living in a world where everyone should just get the fuck on with it. But in this sense, I have to agree. But I'm thinking, is that realistic? Like a fully female gym? Like we'd have to then double the amount of gyms we have, or maybe a third more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. And I'm not saying this is a solution. I was just posing it as a question because there's pros and cons to everything, right? And it's like the main problem for a lot of women at the gym is being caught at by guys being creepy and stuff. And I have heard girls be like, oh, like I'd like to just go to a female only gym. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe that is something they can do. Equally, like for some guys, depending on where their self-control is at, and it is down to every person, they should have self-control. But it is like, oh, if they're at the gym and a really hot girl walks past wearing the tightest stuff, they can't help but look. And I'll be honest, I'm one of those guys like where I remember this one time I was doing a set at the gym. I was on bench doing dumbbells, and this girl, fire, right, very attractive girl. She actually came, got a bar, and she was squatting right in front of me, right in front of me.
Man went.
I was just like, I was like, I can do 12 now. Nah,
He got the motivation.
I got it.
Bro, he said, fuck the music. She can get me up.
No, but
No
like,
pun intended.
but like real talk, I even texted Imogen when this happens. Like, it was so distracting. I just moved. I just went to a different part of the gym so I could finish my set because I was like, I'm a grown man. I'm a hot-blooded male. Like, if you're squatting in front of me wearing the tightest of stuff, like, I can't. It's gonna catch my eye, and then I'm missing my set, everything. So I was just like, I'll just move. Do you know what I mean? And that only ever has happened like on occasion, but
He crumbled.
I don't care,
He got
man.
nervous.
if that makes me finish my gym, because if I'm in the gym, especially if you haven't got a lot of time, like I'm there to work. If
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
if I'm getting distracted, then I'm just pushes everything back for the day. But yeah, I'll definitely do that. One thing I was going to ask you was, what do you think is something that women, the biggest thing you think women don't understand about men today in dating or relationships?
I'd say maybe the line between insecurities and respect, like the way I was talking about earlier, is a big thing. The general understanding of but then humans are super complicated, so I'm talking about myself as a valuable man, what I need, and the one thing girls lack understanding about men in a relationship. That was your question, right?
Yeah.
Within a relationship, I'd say respect levels. Yeah, I'd say that's huge. I'd say respect levels, and like, again, you have girls out there that'll be like, why should I go out my way to give him extra respect? And it's like, why should a man go out of his way to give you everything like we do? Why should I change the way I talk to people for a relationship? Well, that's what you do in a relationship. You don't change your name and your date of birth. You change to grow as people and to give people.
Yeah.
Is that a sufficient answer?
Yeah. No. I think you're right. And respect is love to a man. I said this to someone I had on before, that when a woman says she doesn't respect a man, she is saying she doesn't love him, because a woman can't love a man she doesn't respect.
100%.
She can't love a man she doesn't 100%. Respect.
100%.
So, yeah, man. Let me ask you one more thing, and then I'll let you enjoy your sunny Sunday. Okay. What are 3 red flags about men you would give to your daughter? Wait, first question.
Look at dad and find something else. Look at your father. Anyone with hair like this, stay away.
So I guess so let me ask you then. Would you want your daughter to date a guy like you?
Now where I am now, 100%.
Oh, where you're at now?
Where I'm at now, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I'm respectful, I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm very high value, I'm super hardworking, I'm super respectful, I'm every positive attribute under the sun that a high value man could consist of. I am.
Okay.
Me 2 years ago, maybe we're having another discussion.
Okay.
Because that was at a stage in my life where I thought I was high value, but I wasn't raking the results of what a high value man needs to be. Preaching and not working.
Yeah.
Um.
Okay, so 3 red flags you would tell her about men.
3 red flags I would tell her about men. Ooh.
About to out himself here, boy.
Ooh. Everything you hear now is coming from straight from myself. Wow. I could name you 100 about girls.
Give me 3 about guys, boy.
3 red flags about guys.
Yeah.
A guy that doesn't listen.
Okay. So give an example, like if he forgets something she told him already, or.
Yeah, see, you're talking about like early stages.
Yeah, I mean early stages for dating.
ADHD, so I don't really fucking listen. So it's just a bit.
Nah, yeah, we want dating. Like, if a girl was looking for something serious with a good guy.
I can't remember the last time I haven't had an answer to a question.
I'm glad I asked it.
I'll get there. 3 red flags. The guy drinks too much coffee. A guy that sleeps too much.
A guy that sleeps too much.
A guy that sleeps too much.
Okay.
He's lazy.
Okay.
So why are you sleeping? A guy that
Okay.
sleeps too much. This is horrible.
Go on. Say it.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay, let me be more
I
specific.
can't believe I was. You should have texted me this before. So
Nah, that's why I didn't tell you. I had to put you on the
Wow.
spot. What's one sign that a guy's a player?
But it's different, you know. Like if a guy's super flirty and super outgoing with you and really complimentary.
Mm-hmm.
Put it this way: how a guy acts with you, he's acting with other girls or acted with other girls before. Yeah, like as a girl, you're not massively special until maybe looking at date 4, 5, 6 when he can start personalize things to you. If on the first date he's sitting there and telling you how gorgeous your eyes are, he's done it to the girl he was on the last date with. That's not to say he doesn't appreciate you, but like you're not special.
Yeah.
But then I encourage guys to be outgoing and flirtatious because that's what girls like. So it's contradictory.
Obviously, it's one of those things because it's almost like men and women work better together, but almost like you said earlier about the game that we play in dating to get in today almost seems adversarial. So it's almost like you're giving tips to guys and how they can be the one who essentially holds the frame, has the power, has the decision that he can choose the kind of girl that he wants and they will want him. Whereas for girls, it'd be like, okay, or for women rather, it'd be like, okay, how can I have the options of the kind of quality man that I want and avoid the guys who, you know, only just want one thing from me? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why I asked you, because it's almost a little bit adversarial, but you obviously know the guy side very strongly. I mean, we both did, but I'm asking you.
Yeah. I'd say another red flag in a guy
Yep.
is having low value friends.
Okay.
I'd say take a look at his friends for sure. Take a look at his friends.
100%. In Nigeria, we have a saying, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah.
So for sure.
To some extent that works only if you're a strong person. If you're a weak person and you have friends around you that are different to you and you just kind of accept everyone, then it's fine. But when you're a strong person, you start to understand it.
Yes.
So it might be either you're a weak person or you are like them. There's a lot that could be to it, but I'd say a man that doesn't associate himself with high value people in his life generally will accept low value people, which means he's probably accepted low value girls, which means he probably doesn't have massive respect levels and expectations, which means he's probably not a very good man.
Yeah, no, I agree. I hear that.
Generally speaking. So I'd say a red flag in a man could be like low level friends, bums.
Yeah.
People that aren't doing too much with their life. Third red flag for a man. Long hair. Long hair. It means he spends way too much time doing his hair. Way too much time washing it. Way too much time looking in the mirror. Way too much time boasting about it.
Listen, man, we've got Goldilocks in the house, boy.
There you go. That's
We'll
it.
take it. We'll take
That's me
it.
done. That's red flag number 3. A guy have long hair and green eyes.
We'll take basically anything you see here, right, is the forbidden fruit that you want. Listen, there you go, man. Like it's a pleasure. Thank you for giving us your energy on this Sunday. We appreciate you. Where can people find you if they want to find you?
Diego Day on everything. If you don't already know, you don't need to know. Don't worry. Diego Day on everything. Just search up the word Riz and anything, you'll find me.
That's it. And girls, if any of you women ever DM him, watch this episode first, so you get to understand him, understand what his values and principles are, and what he's about.
Do you check yourself before you DM me? You know.
Oh, God.
Only accepting high value women applications in the DMs right now.
He said, "Whoa, you heard it here first, boy. You heard it here first."
Thank you for having me.
Man, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for giving us your time this Sunday. Thank you for tuning in, guys, and I will see you in the next episode.
Pow.